Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we are talking about Given episode 10, Wonderwall. I would make an Oasis joke, but it's too obvious, so I will not do that. What I will do instead though is give a big shout out to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter, namely at SassySimone125, at Capitalized L, at Dark Knight 003, at Casherms, and at Elena Fandoms. Thanks so much for sharing last week's video, you guys, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's Given video, the big finale, so it's your last chance, then be sure to share this video around on the internet and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much, and I will be sure to shout your name out in next week's Given video, the big finale. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this week's episode, and let's go ahead and start off with something fun, namely Yayoi getting dumped, quote unquote. It's, what a way to start an episode with one of the characters literally cutting their hair out of sheer raw heartbreak. I actually felt legitimately pretty bad for Yayoi. She's the character who I feel like has gotten the least amount of attention given what a key part she kind of plays. Like, not necessarily, I shouldn't say key, just her connection to the other characters is pretty large, and given that we really don't know a whole heck of a lot about her, so it feels a little bad that the first time she actually gets a legitimate scene that's about her, it's her getting quote-unquote dumped, her basically realizing that Kaji ain't interested. And I guess it must have been the like, sorry, we can't talk right now. Seriously, sorry, but not right now. I think that was her realizing, oh, he's not into me, nor will he ever be into me. And it kind of, I felt bad. I don't know about everybody else, but I felt pretty bad. Not that I necessarily shipped Yayoi and Kaji, but I do want the best for this character, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she gets together with somebody else. Maybe she gets a girlfriend. I don't know. But, you know, hopefully something cool happens to that character because I like her. Uenoyama's sister she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. It also does further complicate the whole Kaji thing now, doesn't it? Because it's like, okay, so was Kaji just like screwing with her? Like, was he aware that she had feelings for him and just didn't care? Or did he just straight up not notice and she just got fed up with him not noticing? I have no idea, because Kaji's relationship with all these characters is incredibly complicated. Especially his relationship with Ugetsu, which just continues to be insanely complex and sort of, because I can't tell if they're together or they're not. I really don't understand what's happening with these two characters. They are clearly living together. I think maybe they had feelings but never really acted on it, but are still close regardless, or maybe they did date. I don't remember if it was said or not. I just really, because even if it was, it's still complicated. Just the way that these two interact with each other is interesting. And Ugetsu in general is an interesting character since, again, he has this weird relationship with Kaji, but he's also so intensely like passionate about music, and in such a way that he won't mince words when it comes to music. He's very adamant about whether or not something is good or bad, and he does think that Seasons, later turned to Given, is pretty solid. Like, not bad but not great either, but has a lot of potential, and gets weirdly curious about my boy Sato, which has me worried. Not in like a romantic sense, but just in the idea that I can't remember word for word what it was, but he had said that Sato could be really great, he just needs the right trigger. And I was like, I something about that makes me unwell. Like, I don't know, something about that unnerves me a little bit. I do like Ugetsu, but I worry that maybe he's gonna become like a pseudo antagonist. I don't know. Just leave my boy alone. just leave my boy Sato alone. He's been through enough. And that actually segues us into the next part of the episode that I want to talk about, and that is the aftermath of the concert and how it changed the view of Sato for a lot of the characters. Not only do we see characters like Hiragi who are just super glad and like wicked emotional about Sato actually being able to sing, and Hiragi gets a nice little moment in this episode as well. With the whole guitar strings thing where he's like, maybe we'll show up to your next concert. I don't know. Like, if I have time. Sato's like, I don't care. Don't show up if you don't want to. And he's like, what? No. I'm just saying, if I have the time, I'll go. Jeez. But meanwhile, Hiragi's, of course, gonna go. He cares about his boy. But it was a fun scene. And I think the whole class has really changed their view of Sato. Now, the basketball boys, they were always kind of friendly with Sato. Like, they always saw him as like a cool dude who's like friends with Uenoyama's, really helping Uenoyama with the band, helping like cheer up Uenoyama when he needs cheering up. I think they've always kind of liked Sato, but the girls have finally come around and are cool with Sato, especially the one who used to go to school with him, who's like, wow, like, I can't imagine the courage it took to stand on that stage. Like, just hearing Sato scream made her need to reach over for her boyfriend's hand, whereas she realized how brave Sato was because he had to sing on that stage alone. And I was like, damn, that really hit for some reason. Like, that really got me. And it was just nice seeing not only these characters welcoming, being more cool with Sato, being more welcoming for Sato, but also Sato like opening up more to them, like actually being like willing to talk and be friendly and be generally more upbeat around those characters. It was just a really sweet moment. The aftermath of the concert also leads nicely into my main man Taka once again being a friggin' MVP, top tier husbando, my personal husbando of the show. I think I've seen people on Twitter say the same thing. Taka is clearly like top tier husbando material, and it helps because I don't really ship him with anybody except me. So yeah, me and Taka, that's the new ship. Okay, guys, just so you know. But like, yeah, Taka being like number one top tier husbando, coming through, editing footage, like staying. He told Haruki, like, I stayed up overnight working on this because I got so caught up in your sound that I just couldn't stop editing this. Like, I did this for you, so it's clean, audio's cleaned up, visuals are cleaned up. Here you go. Like, put it on a USB and gave the USB to this boy. Didn't even ask for it back. My man Taka, absolute legend. There is a moment where like maybe him and Haruki have like this like cute little like, I didn't mean it like that, but like thanks, I guess, and like they have like, you know, because it looks like they're having a little coffee date, but it's not like that because Taka is mine, but also because I ship Haruki with Kaji, who also walks in and gets jealous, which does have me like, oh, okay. I like Kaji with Haruki. I know some people are like, no, that's not right because he's clearly with Ugetsu, but I don't ship Ugetsu and Kaji. I ship Kaji and Haruki, and I want that to happen. So when Kaji walked in and got all jealous, I was kind of happy to see that, because I'm like, yeah, that's right, you get jealous, even though my boy Taka isn't interested in Haruki like that. I still appreciated it because, like, you know, it served my ship, so I'm like down for it. And yeah, I don't know, just Taka is like the secret hero of the show, like constantly helping out the band in ways that maybe not the whole band is even aware of, like just constantly being there for them without playing a major role in the band. Just absolute legend. Love this character. I do want to quickly touch on the whole visiting Sato scene. When Sato was sick, Uenoyama actually showed up to basically just check in on him, said like, I'm not going to stay long. I'm just here because I know your mom wasn't here, so I wanted to make sure that you were okay while she was gone. That's all this is. Like, don't think it's any more than that. But I do love this for a couple of reasons. One, it's a reminder that the background art in the show is still absolutely stellar. The weird effect returns, which kind of bugs me, that like weird puff of smoke thing. It's just so strange every time it shows up, which I think in fairness has only been like maybe 3 times tops. But like, it's just a weird effect. I don't like it. But the background art is still stellar. The interaction between Uenoyama and Sato is adorable, and most important of all, Kadama returns. Kadama the dog, the little doggo, returns and gets to be, you know, the precious doggo. So seeing him made me super happy. And above all else, just seeing Uenoyama taking care of Sato just cheered me up in a big bad way. And I liked that little moment where he was just the fact that he was willing to check in on him. And Sato was just being like, like kind of spilling his heart to Uenoyama without really telling him everything that he, especially like when we get to the end of the episode where you find out what Sato really wanted to tell Uenoyama, but probably held off until they went to go have their little date. But it was just a sweet scene. I really liked it, and I wanted to talk about it. Even though I don't have a whole ton to say, that scene is pretty damn great. This leads nicely into the last thing I want to talk about for this week's episode, and that is the future plans for the band. The band is already getting offered to do other shows based on how well the first show went, and so obviously after a show with that much heart behind it, they were asked to play a different venue, and a significantly bigger venue at that, which of course makes the band a little nervous, but they're mostly excited, especially Sato, who is just raring to go. The band does, in fairness, ask Sato what he wants to do next, because really, when you think about it, they kind of slapped this new group together just in time to do the show. It was never, like, they never really talked about their plans after the show. Like, everything was leading to the show. After that was sort of up in the air, it wasn't really the focus. But since the show has come and gone, they need to talk to Sato about whether or not he actually wants to be in the band, what he wants to do next with the band, what they should name the band, where they should go with the band, what kind of music they should do, what kind of songs they should write, if Sato even wants to write at all, which thankfully the man is obviously super eager and wants to keep writing, wants to be part of the band. So there's no need to worry about the band breaking up at that point, which, big relief. But the band name, as I said, does get changed, and this is where the title of the show came. Like, as soon as I saw it, just like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a title drop. And the new name actually does make a whole mountain of sense when you think about it, because the band's original name was Seasons, which makes sense given that the original band members had names that were related to the seasons. Sato wanted to use the word give, because Haruki asked, like, is there any name that jumps to mind, like anything like you want to add to the band, any kind of word that really leaps out to you? And the word that leaped out to him was give, since this whole thing started when Yuki's mother gave Sato Yuki's old guitar. So this all started with somebody giving Sato something, so the word give leaps out to him. And Kaji's trying to mix the two words together, so give seasons, give seasons, given. It's a stretch, but it does work. Although they do keep lumping all the work onto Haruki, which is a little upsetting. This poor dude. But I will say the biggest thing in terms of future plans is right up at the end when Sato invites Uenoyama to go to some lake. I wasn't super sure where they were, but Sato basically uses the moment to confess his feelings to Uenoyama, which on one hand I'm surprised by, but on the other hand, we already knew that both of these characters liked the other. We have established that they have both said, I love them, about the other without specifically saying it to the other. So we already knew that they felt this way. And it's pretty clear Uenoyama, like I said, he's already said that he loves Sato, and Sato's already said that he loves Uenoyama. It's just now it's out in the open. They have both said it. A bit of a surprise, but at the same time, we have one episode left to go. We don't super know if it's going to get a second season. I am really hoping it does, because the show has gotten a decent amount, like a decently good amount of attention, so a second season wouldn't surprise me, and I'm really hoping for one. But just in case they don't, I'm glad that they got the confession out of the way, so it's already out in the open. I think it's the right time. I know for some people it might seem soonish. I think it's a good time for it. And I guess as just one little last button to put on this video, next week's episode title is Song 2. Which, if you don't know, is the woohoo song from Blur. Weird episode title for next week. I have no idea what to make of that, but I'm curious. But that is gonna wrap up my thoughts on this week's episode, and I'm comfortable giving this week a solid grade of B. It was a good time. I enjoyed watching this episode quite a bit. But before I take off, as always, I have to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Calvin Atkinson, Crowbar of Irony, Dominic, Urza, Ginkotaku, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Mirth Mouser, Nye, Omner Garamond, Cell, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Somastan, Steven, Tristan, and Veridin. Thanks so much for your continued support over on Patreon, you guys, and if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then by all means go ahead and check out the first link in the description to check out our Patreon page, see all the cool rewards you can get over there, as well as access to our Patreon exclusive Discord. But on that note, everybody, that is going to be a video, so I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then you've probably been on the internet long enough to know what to do already, so I ain't going to tell you, but I will say that it is appreciated. And if you're feeling stressed out today, you go have yourself a warm cup of tea, and I will talk to you all again real soon.